If you have a bunch of money and you have a choice, are you going to buy $1 million of gold and put it in a bank of a centralized institution that will seize it? Are you going to buy $1 million of land in the middle of Beijing where the government of China could just take it from you? Are you going to buy $1 million worth of a stock in a Chinese company? How about an American company? How about an Argentinian company? Or are you going to buy $1 million worth of a crypto asset that's in cyberspace beyond the reach of a government or a corporation?
Bitcoin bull Michael Saylor provides us an update on the recent market shift and the currency's most recent crashes. He also discusses the causes of shifting cryptocurrency prices and the future of the Bitcoin ecosystem. According to the CEO of MicroStrategy, Bitcoin has been negatively impacted by vulnerabilities and other assets in a market that is largely unregulated. Saylor has been under fire many times in the past few months over falling prices, volatility, and uncertainty. He says that until Bitcoin gets to the $3,000 price point, there's no cause for concern. Please watch till the end of the video to hear Saylor's outlook for this year. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
If you're an individual looking for the rational path forward, what you want to do is embrace technologies or ideologies that reinforce individual sovereignty and freedom, and they're rational. So hence Bitcoin. If you take all of your money and all of your power and you put it in the middle of Beijing, right? They own you. And if your life is not consistent with the policies of that government, then you lose everything. If you took all your money and you invested it in New York City, the mayor of New York could just take it. And if New York, if you took all your money and you put it in New Zealand and New Zealand locked down the economy for a year, right, then they own you. So if you're looking for sovereignty and freedom or a rational path forward where you get a choice, then you need to actually put your property beyond the reach of a government that might be irrational or that might be capricious. And you need to put it beyond the reach of a corporation that might be influenced by said government. The point really is you have a physical presence in this world. And so ultimately, maybe they won't let you out through the airport, right? What if I just tell you I'm going to murder you next Monday? Will you leave? Will you stay? Right? Maybe you can't leave, right?
There is little doubt that despite his bravery, Saylor must be feeling the pressure of the market. Since the beginning of the year, the value of the company's Bitcoin holdings have fallen by 67%, and the market outlook is still unfavorable. Many believe Bitcoin's recovery phase will start next month.
There are a whole set of decisions you can make in life where you don't have the choice. If you make the decision to invest your family's life savings in a building in a country in Africa run by a dictator, you have given up the option to live in Europe. You've given up the option to leave. You've given up the option to do anything. So the question really is, do you want the option or do you want to give up the option? Because one is a choice of death. The other is a choice of life. There is no guarantee. If you leave Africa and come to the US, it seems like it's pretty obvious to me. Like the truth is everybody in the world would leave a weak country and come to a strong country. Everybody. That's why we have a border issue, right? Everybody wants to be in America. So that's not a hard sell. If you come back to the issue of, well, I'm an entitled American, will everyone leave America? Maybe you won't. But the point there is, if you had a choice between being rich and living in Texas or being destitute and living in California, would you cling to California and be destitute, or would you be rich and live in Texas? Because that doesn't seem so controversial either. It seems pretty obvious that if you can go to one state where you can live happily, what if I told you you're going to be locked in your bedroom for the next decade if you live in one state and you're going to starve to death, or you can move to another state and you can live a normal life? You're like, well, isn't it obvious that you would like the option to live in the place that will allow you to breathe the air freely and conduct your business. Right? When one place says you can't sit at dinner with your family and the other place says you can have dinner with your family, you're going to want to leave from point A to point B. So you won't be able to do it if your property is fixed, right? I mean, a lot of Jews died in Nazi Germany in the 30s because their property was fixed in Germany. They didn't want to leave and they got trapped there. If their property had been in a crypto asset like Bitcoin and they could have left, they'd be alive. And it's not that hard to make that point. And you can illustrate that with every expatriate and every immigrant fleeing, every war zone. Everybody has a choice as to where they will place their livelihood, what corporation they will be dependent upon, what regulator they will be dependent upon, what government they will be dependent upon, right? You have a lot of choices today. Just be rational. I can't fix, all of these problems in the world. All I can do is say some places are more permissive than others. On the margin, I would guess that your odds of being able to operate your business in the face of a potential pandemic are higher in Texas than they are in certain left-leaning states. On the margin, Florida, probably higher. If the governor says, I'm never going to shut down a business, you have a right to work, probably you have a higher right there. So you get to choose, but that changes every month and every year, right?
Because we have gone through an essential deleveraging, people will be more cautious in their perspective of things. Saylor says that many people need to be educated on necessities such as basic risk management, counterparty risk, and the difference between a security and a commodity. Saylor has observed that institutional interest in Bitcoin has increased substantially in the macro and hedge fund space since the previous year. We have exited the period of people questioning Bitcoin's value and its permanence. Now we are only waiting for regulatory closure, which will lead to more Bitcoin adoption. This is because many rules about holding crypto need to be clarified, and institutions need a way to participate in the market. Saylor says that every development from the FDIC or Congress is a stimulant for crypto acquisition. He says that we will be seeing more institutional adoption of Bitcoin as a digital asset in the future. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on this. Comment down below on what you think of Michael Saylor's Bitcoin position. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.